This is the Preston Indians pregame show. Coming up, we'll take a look at tonight's game. We'll hear from the coach and look at the pregame stats, all leading up to tonight's action. You're listening to live coverage of the Preston Indians on 105.5 FM, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com. And a very pleasant evening, everyone, as we welcome you back inside Preston Gym tonight as the Preston Lady Indians take the floor as they get ready to go to work tonight, as they will face the Marsh Valley Eagles. Now, for Preston, they come into the game at 11-2, mark 6-0 overall in conference play as they come back from their holiday break. They faced Marsh Valley back before the holiday break, as tonight's game is the second half of a home-and-home series with the Eagles. The Lady Indians lead the Great Basin Conference in both overall record and conference record. After tonight, Preston will have 8 games left in the regular season, including 7 games remaining against conference teams. We mentioned these two teams played just back before Christmas. The Indians were able to squeak out a 4th straight win and 9th in the last 10 games against the Eagles with a 43-40 win at Marsh Valley. That game took place on December the 20th. Michaela Robertson and Sage Meek led the scoring with 10 points each for the Preston Indians. As far as these two teams go, as far as playing head-to-head, the Indians and the Eagles have now met a total of 16 times in the just completed decade, with Preston winning 10 of those games, including the last game before the break. Preston now also has beaten Marsh Valley in 6 straight games. However, there was a time back between 2011 and 2014 that the Eagles beat the Indians in 3 straight games. So this is kind of a series that has gone back and forth. As for Preston, they could use another win, coming back to work after the holiday break, as they'll get a chance to get the Eagles on their home floor coming up here tonight. Coming up on the pregame show, we'll talk with Coach Ryan Harris in just a couple of minutes. Also, we'll look at the keys to tonight's game and the schedule remaining for the Preston Indians as we work our way down toward the end of the season already. My, oh my, where's the season gone? For the Preston Indians, tonight is game number 14 on the year. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll talk to Ryan Harris after this timeout.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Welcome to West Motor Ford. We love happy customers. With multiple financing options, it's easy to drive your new vehicle home. We offer a full line of new Fords and a constantly changing pre-owned vehicle inventory. Our service department is top-notch with technicians trained for everything from routine maintenance to major repairs. With a large selection of parts and accessories, including tires, we've got you covered. So come in and let us turn up your happy meter. Visit West Motor Ford in Preston today.
As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Welcome back to the pregame show. We'll spend a couple of minutes with Coach Ryan Harris here before this game against Marsh Valley. Is it just me? Does it seem like forever since you guys have been on the court?
It's been a long time. Feels like it's a start of a whole new season. Hope it doesn't look like it.
What's it been, about 14, 16 days, something like that?
Yeah, about that. I can't even remember when the last day we played. I think it was December 21st. So, yeah, we're 14 days. So
you got ready to put it all behind you and get back to serious business here down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, we're excited to get going. We have a couple of big games coming up. Next week we're up to Jerome and Wood River, and then we follow that with our first game at Century the following Tuesday, our first matchup with Century. And so we've done well in conference so far. Jerome's going to be a test. Wood River, it's such a long distance. They haven't done so well this year, but, you go clear up there, it's going to be a little bit of road weary and see how we do. But, yeah, we're excited to get this part of the season going and see how we stack up against some of the other teams in the conference.
11-1, 6-0 in conference, but then you haven't played really anybody in your pod, really, to speak of. Burley maybe is one of those.
But like you said, you still have 2 games left with Century, and that's going to be the beginning of a really tough road.
For sure. As far as the conference games go, the Jerome and Wood River are big. Those are 2 2-pointers. We have seen Minico, Burley, and Pokey. Those are all 1-point games, But those 2 games right there are 4 points. So we got to make sure that we travel well and we go up there and take care of business. And then, Century, it's shaping up that we're the 1-2 in the conference. And if we want, a semifinal game at home or possibly a championship game at home, we got to win one of those or both. Haven't really checked the tiebreakers. I don't know what it looks like if we split with them, But I don't assume they're going to lose to anybody else, and we don't plan on it either. So we'll just see how it all shakes out.
So you get Marsh Valley tonight, a team that last time you guys played, you squeaked out a 3-point win against.
Yeah, they're a good ball club. We had our lowest turnover game of the season. We only turned the ball over 13 times, but we only scored 43 points, I think was the final tally. And we didn't shoot terribly poor, but we kind of got out and moving a little bit. I think we had an 8 or a 10-point halftime lead on them and getting some transition points. They came out in the second half and kind of slowed things down a little bit and took us out of our rhythm. And I think thus was the low-scoring game as far as that goes. So we out-rebounded them, all those sort of things. But they're a good, quick team. They have some athletic girls. They shoot the ball well from outside from all 5 positions. And so it's a team we definitely have to take serious, with that 3-point victory that we had up there. But we're excited. We're excited to play good teams. You look at them on paper, and Marsh Valley's, I think, just over 500. You wouldn't look at them and think that they're a big threat, but every game they played, they've been in, And our North Summit lost. North Summit got us by 25, and Marsh only lost North Summit by 8 points or something like that, and we're in it the whole game. And so they're a good enough ball club. We're taking them serious, and we got to take them serious, and we hope we can come out and put up a few more points than we did last time we played them. So.
Concerned about being off for as long as you have now? I know you guys practiced a lot over the holidays, as much as you could at least. But any concern about having to shake off rust again as you get back on the floor here tonight?
Oh, for sure. We state mandated took 5 days off, and even coming back from that 5 days took up because girls out there breathing hard again like it's the second game of the year, and so. That Christmas break is kind of tough as far as that goes. Girls getting a little bit out of shape, and I don't know how much of that's eating all the drinking eggnog and all the garbage you eat over Christmas versus not running, But yeah, there's definitely we got to figure things out. We got to come out hot and get going and get after them and sub early and sub often and make sure we take care of them that way.
Hopefully things will turn out right for you tonight, and we'll talk to you again as we work our way into the weekend coming up at Jerome and Wood River coming up on Friday and Saturday of next week. Good luck tonight.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dan.
That's Coach Ryan Harris back on the pregame show right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Imagine a world with no basketball.
Hey, do you want to marathon the Lifetime Network today?
Oh yeah, there's a new show. It's called How to Dress Up Kitty.
Yeah, no thanks. Basketball lives here on the Aggie Sports Network.
This Saturday night, the Aggies return to the Spectrum floor as they host the San Diego State Aztecs. The pregame show is at 7:30. They'll tip off the game at 8.
Utah State basketball on KACH.
This time of year, the weather can change quickly. That means the road conditions change quickly too. If you usually feel stressed when you're driving as the weather changes, it might be because you don't have the right tires for the road conditions. Let West Motor Company help you choose the tires that will meet your needs. Take the stress out of your winter driving with a set of 4 new tires. Visit any of our dealerships in Preston or Logan today. West Motor Company, we do tires.
West Motor Company.
The keys to tonight's game are brought to you by Naylor Insurance.
Regardless of which insurance company you use, when you add a teen driver to your vehicle policy, your rates increase. This is Cheryl Kimball with Naylor Insurance in Preston. If you've got teen drivers, you need to know about the rate-saving plan offered through Mutual of Enumclaw Insurance. Teen Smart is an 8-hour program that, once completed, will lower your rates and make your teen a better driver. Savings and increased safety. It's a win-win. Call us today, 208-852-0810.
KACH. KACH.
Let's take a look at the keys to tonight's game as far as the Preston Indians are concerned. As we mentioned,
So you're coming back from a long layoff as you've had 14 days off since you last played a game. Wow, this has been a tough stretch of games. You need to use this game to get ready to get back into what is going to be another very tough stretch run in conference games coming up between now and the end of the season. As Coach Harris mentioned, they're 6-0 in conference, yes, but they still have 2 meetings left with Century, a game with Pocatello, and a game with Minico still on the schedule amongst others in conference play. Number 2, you need to work hard and cut down on the mistakes. Yes, you were coming off your game where you had your lowest turnovers on the season in 13, but still you gave away the ball 13 times. That's a potential for 26 points that could have helped you have a bigger win in the game at Marsh Valley. And you need to continue to work on ball and work the ball and the offense. This will lead to more balanced scoring, more positive things happening for the team, and there's certainly more scoring opportunities as you work your way back into conference play. So Preston's 11-2, 6-0 in conference as they'll play this game here against Marsh Valley coming up in just a few minutes. We'll take another timeout. We'll come back and look at other games involving Great Basin 10 teams being played tonight. We'll do all that as we continue right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
If it's time to sell your home, retail property, or land, make sure to hire the realtor that has your best interest in mind. This is Mike Hansen, broker at Cornerstone Real Estate. As a licensed real estate broker in Idaho and Utah, I have over 20 years of experience helping folks successfully sell property. I would like the opportunity to help you list and sell for the best price as quickly as possible. Call me today to schedule an appointment. Let's work together to make the sale of your property as simple and successful as possible. Mike Hansen, 801-510-1121.
Are you looking for a different kind of spot for lunch, dinner, or to do catering for your next event? Then try the Island Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins right here in Preston. At Island Bowl Grill, they have the best Hawaiian fare in the area. The combination of teriyaki and Korean influences can only be described in one way: mouth-watering. Offering 3 different catering options, Island Bowl Grill can host your next party in-house at Poppin' Pins Bowling Center. You can pick up for takeout, or they can come right to your house and prepare the food on site for your next party. What could be easier? Go to poppinpins.com for more information on Island Bowl Grill, or call 208-425-6128. Poppin' Pins Bowling Center, 411 South US Highway 91 in Preston.
At Franklin County Medical Center, their goal is to get you back in the game, back to work, and back to your normal way of life. Franklin County Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation Center has a team of therapists who specialize in providing you an individualized treatment plan, helping you reach your goals, working with doctors from all over the region to make your recovery convenient and close to home. Call today so you can stop suffering and start healing. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence.
Listen for Dan Hubbard and Preston Indian Sports on KACH.
Well, let's look at some of the other things coming up around the Great Basin 10 tonight. Some other teams in action coming up tonight. Jerome will be at Mampa as they'll head to the Boise area. Burley comes down to Pocatello. They will take on the Pokey Indians. Minico is still playing in a tournament. They're actually playing at Kearns tonight. Kearns, of course, is down in Utah, and this game here between Marsh Valley and Preston. One good note for the Preston Indians we can pass along to you, that is the fact that they get Sydney Marlowe back tonight. She missed the last 3 games. Last game she played was against Minico, at Minico, but they get her back tonight. She had a bruised knee. They thought it was more structural, but rest and visits to the doctor proved that nope, that it's just a bruise, and she'll be back in there coming up tonight. In fact, she's in uniform and warming up on the floor right now. So Preston will take on Marsh Valley. Second half of a home-and-home series against the Eagles. The Indians win the first of the meetings just before Christmas by a score of 43-40. And the two teams get together again here at Preston Gym coming up in just a few minutes. We invite you now to stay tuned. All the excitement of Preston Indians basketball is coming up next.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
COACH. 5 letters synonymous with leadership and encouragement. A person who cares about your success in athletics, but even more about your success in life. Hear from the coach right here on the Coach Craig Smith Show.
The Coach Craig Smith Show, live from the new Chicago Pizza location in Logan. Monday nights at 6 on FM 105.5 and AM 1340 KACH.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need. Quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
Across the FM airwaves, we're heard at 105.5. On the far-reaching AM dial, we're at 1340. And on the internet at mylocalradio.com. Wherever you find us, we are KACH, Preston, Smithfield.
It's time for Preston High School Indians basketball. The Indians hit the court looking to bring home a Great Basin 10 title and make a run for a berth in the state playoffs. All the excitement of Preston basketball is brought to you by West Motors, with Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks all available right here in Preston. By Franklin County Medical Center, with the finest care you'll find in all of the Cache Valley. By Stokes Market True Value, the big city market with small town friendliness. By Rouse Construction, bringing custom homes to the Blue Sage Park community right here in Preston. By Webb Funeral Home, just off Highway 91 at the south end of Preston. By Hawaiian Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins Bowling Center. Come try the best Hawaiian food right here in the city of Preston. By Naylor Insurance, for life, home, and auto insurance from Mutual of Enumclaw on State Street in Preston. By Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. By Idaho Salvage, where you can turn your scrap metals into cash. By Preston Auto Parts CarQuest on State Street in downtown Preston. By Valley Implement. By S&T Electric. And by mylocalradio.com. Tonight's game is a presentation of Preston Broadcasting, LLC, and is made possible through an agreement between Preston High School Athletics and Preston Broadcasting. It's presented for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or use of descriptions or accounts of this game without the express written consent of Preston Broadcasting, LLC is strictly prohibited. As we welcome you once again live here to Preston Gym as the Preston Lady Indians will take on the Lady Eagles from Marsh Valley. Dan Hubbard, along with our camera person and stage manager tonight, Don Hubbard. John Beverly's back in the studio, twisting the knobs and making it sound good tonight. So we welcome you here to tonight's broadcast. Starting lineup first for the Eagles from Marsh Valley. Valerie Volwaller is 5'9" senior getting a start tonight, as is Zoe Armstrong. She's a 5-foot junior. It'll be Tyler Argyle, a 5'5" junior, starting tonight. Marcia Dunn, who's a 5'5" senior, starts tonight as well. And it'll be Natalie Smedley, a senior, getting a start tonight as well for the Lady Eagles of Marsh Valley. For Preston, 11-2, 6-0 in conference. As here's the Lady Indians starting lineup for Preston. Haley Meek, averaging 5.5 points a game, getting a start tonight for the Lady Indians. Sage Meek, who had 10 points in the last game against Marsh Valley, who tied for the
high point honors on the team. She averages 6.5 points a game. Lexi Harris is the point guard. She averages 5 points a game. Cassie Pugmire, averaging 8.5 points a game, gets the start tonight. And in the middle is Kylie Larson, 5.5 points a game average, as she'll get the start tonight as well in the middle. JV team lost to Marsh Valley just before we came on the air, 53-40 the final there. In case you missed it earlier this afternoon, the Preston boys team pick up a win, 75-54. That over Wood River. So a 2-point win there for the Indians, as they're off now until Tuesday when they will go to Canyon Ridge, and we'll have that game for you here on mylocalradio.com and on the radio at Con KACH. We're underway as Marsh Valley controls the opening tip. Little backdoor cut. Haley Meek got a foot in front of it, able to knock it down, and now they come back the other way. First possession tonight for the Lady Indians. Meek takes it all the way to the hole, misses the layup. Cassie Pugmire had it. They knock it away from her and out of bounds. It'll stay with Preston underneath their own basket. Pugmire to bring it in. Gets it into Larson in the left corner. Bounce it back out top to Sage Meek. Inside again it comes to Pugmire. Wants to turn and shoot, can't. Gives it outside to Haley Meek. Haley drives the left side of the lane, drops it out of bounds, and again it'll stay with Preston. Last touched again by the Marsh Eagles. We talked a little bit about the games coming up for Preston in those conference games as they get back to work here tonight in the final non-conference game of the season as the pass comes into Pugmire. Cassie looks, still holds. They come up, finally play defense on her. Now she'll hands it off. She gives it to Larson down the middle. Larson into paint, goes off the glass and in. Kylie Larson breaks the ice and gets the Eagles on the board first. They lead 2-0 as it comes up to Dunn in the front court. As it goes down in the corner, tapped by the Indians and goes out of bounds. So it'll stay with the Eagles once they get the ball back and ready to put it back into play. As Marcy Dunn was going to bring it in. Now she's a step out of the way and leave it there for Valerie Vorwaller, the other senior, as they get it in. It comes into Smedley, back to Vorwaller, driving, nice play, and she gets the layup for the hoop in her first 2 points of the game. Full court pressure put on by Marsh Valley as it comes into Larson as they break the press. Up into the front court, Pugmire looks at a three, no good. High bouncing rebound comes off as it's handled there by Argyle, the junior. And now the Indians, or I should say the Eagles, will set up the offense here for the first time. Vorwaller, backdoor cut, tried to get it to Armstrong, taken away by Lexi Harris. She'll slow the ball down in the backcourt, gets it up in the front court now and gives it off to Sage Meek. Sage comes back over to Haley Meek. Haley off the glass, whistle, and she's fouled going up. Zoe Armstrong draws the foul. That's her first. First team foul for either side. Now here's Haley Meek to shoot a couple of free throws, and the first one is good. Haley's a 71% free throw shooter on the season. She had 4 points in the previous matchup against Marsh Valley. She misses this free throw. As the rebound comes off to Larson, another three-pointer from the corner, this time by Pugmire. Larson battles for the rebound, has it again. Back outside to Sage Meek from the right elbow. That's no good. Vorwaller has the rebound once again for the Eagles as she pushes back up into the front court. She'll take it all the way down, free throw line, extended left. Now looking for somebody to give it to. There's a cutter inside as that goes to Armstrong, and Armstrong's going to be fouled as she goes for the left-hand layup. That's going to go on Lexi Harris. That'll be her first and the first team foul for the Indians here as well. As Armstrong goes to the free throw line to shoot a couple of free throw shots. First one is up and in. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by our friends at Naylor Insurance, who brought you the keys to tonight's game for home, life, and auto. For mutual of even cost, stop by Naylor Insurance on State Street in Preston or call 208-853-0810. That's 852-0810. 852-0810 for Naylor Insurance. She missed the second free throw. We're tied at 3 as Lexi Harris has the ball back up into the front court. Gives it to Larson as she steps out away from the basket. Gets it back to Pugmire at the free throw line. Looks at the cutters. There goes Haley Meek down the left side, and Haley gets the layup. That puts Preston back on top, 5-3. Nice backdoor cut and nice pass from Cassie Pugmire. Snapping the pass up into the front court is the Eagles. That's be kicked out of bounds by Larson as she hustles back on defense. So the ball belongs out of bounds underneath their own basket as the Eagles will get it in. Vorwaller looking, finally gets it in. Top of the key. Three-pointer from there. That's Armstrong. That's no good. The rebound inside is taken away by Argyle. Back to Vorwaller. Vorwaller down the middle as needs a soft touch. Won't get it as it stays going to go out of bounds off the Preston Indians, and it's going to stay with Marsh Valley underneath their own basket once again. Again, it'll be Vorwaller to bring it in. She gets it in as it comes into Maya Smedley just into the game. Back to Vorwaller. Back out top to Armstrong. She holds it high up overhead. They double team her, so she tries to go right. She gets stopped there. She'll give it, swing it back around Vorwaller. Looks at a three. Needs a bounce, won't get it. Pecked inside by Argyle, taken away by the Indians. Here comes Harris all the way. Length of the court, misses the layup, tapped out of bounds. That's off Cassie Pugmire and out of bounds. So good hustle by Harris. Got a layup, but couldn't get it to go down. Full court pressure now put on by the Indians, and it's going to pay off as Marsh Valley throws it away. So the press brings up a turnover as Marsh Valley throws the ball out of bounds right into the Preston bench. With a 5-3 lead, the Indians have the lead back. Get it up in the front court. Comes to Pugmire at the left elbow. Looking for somebody to give it to. Now Cassie wants to drive. She comes across to the right elbow. Leaves it there for Sage Meek as the crowd wants a double dribble. All the folks who made the drive over from Marsh Valley, they don't get it. And the shot there by Sage Meek is no good. Taken away by the Eagles. Vorwaller up into the front court. Smedley drives, right-hand layup, blocking foul against Larson. Oops, no, they're going to call it against Pugmire, 23, not 32. So Cassie draws her first foul, second team foul against the Eagles. And now Maya Smedley's going to go to the free throw line. Smedley makes the first free throw as she's now 3 of 11 on the year from the free throw line. She had a high this year of 12 points. That came against Bear Lake, and she makes them both. She has 2 here so far tonight, and we're tied again at 5. Just under 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Breakaway, here comes Larson all the way, high off the glass, won't go down for her. She taps it back, it comes back to Robertson just into the game, back to Sage Meek. Three-pointer from the left corner, that's no good. That's tapped away again, picked up by Lexi Harris. Her jump shot is no good. Again, the rebound comes to Kylie Larson. Back to Harris again for another three. That needs a bounce, won't get it. And finally the rebound's taken away by Natalie Smedley for the Eagles. Here comes the Eagle offense again back the other way. Vorwaller stops the dribble, hands it off, and she gives it back to Armstrong. Armstrong will play it off there as it goes to Argyle. Now back to Maya Smedley. She able to turn the corner, drives, lays it off. She gives it off there to Natalie Smedley. Her little 5-foot jumper is no good. Preston has the rebound as Larson gets it again up in the front court to Michaela Robertson. Robertson had 10 points against this Marsh Valley team back when they played just before Christmas. The pass was not expected by Robertson. It's off her hands, taken away again by Marsh Valley with 2:50 to play here in the first quarter. Still tied at 5. Driving, laying it off. The jumper from the baseline is up and good by Natalie Smedley. So she has her first 2 points of the game, and finally the Eagles get back in front, 7-5. There's finally somebody able to break that tie, as that's going to stay with Preston. It's going to be last touched by Valerie Vorwaller as she came out to pressure Kylie Larson. Robertson will bring it in from right in front of us. with 2:29 to play here in quarter number 1. Harris. Sage Meek, left side, free throw line extended, back to Harris in the corner. Larson has it, and that's going to be a pushing foul as Natalie Smedley came over to play defense, found herself in a vulnerable situation and could do nothing more than try to push Larson to keep her from driving to the basket. So back into the game, Sydney Marlowe, who's missed the last 3 games with a bruised knee, back in as she replaces Cassie Pugmire. The shot by Robertson is short as it's Marlowe to go down and get it and root it out. She hands it off. They hand it off, I should say, to Harris. Left, right side now comes to Meek. Back out top to Harris. Over on the left side, free throw line extended, goes back to Robertson. In the corner it goes to Harris. She'll bounce it to Sydney Marlowe. And now back in the corner, it's Harris again for another 3-pointer. That's no good. And Sage Meek goes up and draws the foul, trying to battle for the rebound. Loose ball foul against Sage Meek. That'll be her first, and the third against the Indians. Brexley Ware comes in, replacing Sage Meek, as Coach Ryan Harris dips into the bench here a little bit here in the first quarter, as Zoe Armstrong brings the ball back up into the front court. As down low, that's going to be knocked out of bounds. In fact, it was lost out of bounds by Myra Smedley, the junior for the Eagles, and the ball's going to go back over to Preston. Full court pressure this time. The Indians able to break the press. They get it up in the front court to Marlowe, to Harris. Back out top, Larson, 3-pointer from straight away. Needs a bounce, won't get it. Up high to grab the rebound. There was Christensen just onto the floor for the first time. They try to get it ahead to Smedley. It's off her hands, taken away again by the Indians. As quickly they can again come back the other way. Comes to Robertson back up in the front court. Robertson will bring it top of the key, and she'll hold it there and try to set up the offense with 1:15 to play in the quarter. Bring it to Ware. She almost had it knocked away. She's got to go back and get it. Gives it to Larson. She holds it high above her head. Bounce pass comes to Marlowe at the right elbow, as it was knocked away from her, but Preston again will retain possession as it comes back to Harris. Harris turns on Armstrong, has it taken away by Christensen, and the Eagles control it back up into the front court. Quickly the pass goes behind Christensen, saved in the corner by Armstrong. Heck of a play, and her shot goes off the side of the board and out of bounds. As the Marsh Valley bench is claiming that the ball was tipped, but the officials aren't believing it, so they give it back to Preston. 44 seconds to play here in the quarter. Up into the front court it comes to Ware. Inside to Larson in the paint. She puts it up, no good, but she's fouled. She'll go to the free throw line to shoot a couple. Maddie Headley draws the foul. A 5'4" senior. That'll be her first foul, team's third. That's 3 on each side. And here is Kylie Larson to shoot a couple of free throws. Kylie 7 of 16 on the year. First one is no good. Kylie averaging 5.5 points a game. She had 8 in the first meeting between these two teams, and a high point game so far of the game they played at Burley. She had 19 in that game. As she makes the second free throw, she has 3 points here in the first quarter, and Preston trails by 1, 7-6 with 30 seconds to play, and a traveling violation again here against the Eagles. So they got it up into the front court to Lexi Christensen, who traveled before she could do anything with it. Now the Indians have the ball back with 30 seconds to play in the quarter. It's Robertson up into the front court. She's double teamed, gives it up as it goes to Marlowe. Sits strong to the basket, misses once, gets the ball back and puts it in. Sydney Marlowe, welcome back after missing 3 games. It's her first 2 points of the game. Puts Preston on top, 8-7. 7 seconds to go in the quarter. Pass comes to Armstrong. Back out top to Vorwaller. She'll take a 3. Bank shot, no. Rebounds off to Marlowe. And Preston will lead after the first quarter here tonight, as they have an 8-7 advantage as we go to the first quarter break. We're done with 1. Preston on top. Second quarter coming up right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
If it's time to sell your home, retail property, or land, make sure to hire the realtor that has your best interest in mind. This is Mike Hansen, broker at Cornerstone Real Estate. As a licensed real estate broker in Idaho and Utah, I have over 20 years of experience helping folks successfully sell property. I would like the opportunity to help you list and sell for the best price as quickly as possible. Call me today to schedule an appointment. Let's work together to make the sale of your property as simple and successful as possible. Mike Hansen, 801-510-1121.
Imagine a world with no basketball.
Hey, do you want to marathon the Lifetime Network today?
Oh, yeah, there's a new show. It's called How to Dress Up Kitty.
Yeah, no thanks. Basketball lives here on the Aggie Sports Network.
This Saturday night, the Aggies return to the Spectrum floor as they host the San Diego State Aztecs. The pregame show is at 7:30. They'll tip off the game at 8.
Utah State basketball on KACH.
KACH.
Preston starts the second quarter with the basketball and the lead as they get it down low to Robertson. Comes back to Haley Meek. Nice move. Goes high off the glass. No good. Rebound is off to the Eagles. This is controlled there by Armstrong. Hustles the ball back up into the front court to Vorwaller. Cross-court pass comes to Dunn just back into the game. Dunn back out top to Armstrong again, who wants to direct traffic. 8-7 Indians as we start play here in the second quarter. Back to Armstrong. Goes back to Dunn. Now back out top again. Vorwaller back to Dunn. Looks at a three. No good. Long rebound comes off. Robertson has it. Defense is back, so Robertson will slow the ball down as she gets to the top of the key. Then it kind of opens up for her. She goes for the layup. That's no good. And the rebound again comes off to Vorwaller for the Eagles. Ahead again to Armstrong. Goes up, has it stripped away from her and out of bounds. And the ball will stay with the Eagles. So they'll bring it in from underneath their own basket. Marcy Dunn will bring it in as that comes in to Vorwaller. Vorwaller gives it up as Macy Lunt into the game for the first time. A 5'4" sophomore loses the ball. Cassie Pugmire back in now for Preston. Hands it off to Brexley Ware. Three-pointer, no good. High bounce. Marlowe tried for it, couldn't get it. As Vorwaller quickly up into the front court. It comes back to Lunt. Lunt goes back across to Vorwaller. Doesn't take the three. She'll give it back to Zoe Armstrong, top of the key. She's double teamed there. She dribbles out of the double team. Down to the corner it goes to Smedley. Holds it up high. Now whip it back out top as it goes back to Valerie Vorwaller. Back to Armstrong over on the right side. Free throw line extended. She gets away from her defender. It comes back around to Lunt. Now down in the left corner. Back out top again to Vorwaller. Little Euro step from the left block, goes off the glass and in. Vorwaller has her second basket. She has 4 points in the game and gives the Eagles the lead again at 9-8. Here comes Haley Meeks splitting the double team, and she's fouled. It's on the drive, so the ball will stay out of bounds as the foul's on Macy Lunt, number 14. That's her first and team's fourth. So the Indians get the ball in, comes to Robertson, down low on the block to Pugmire, tries to turn and shoot and has it blocked by Smedley. Quickly up into the front court, they get it back to Smedley, off the glass and in. Natalie Smedley runs the court and gets the benefit as they get the big girl the ball and she's able to put it in. 11-8 as the Eagles again go up by 3. Ahead up in the front court it comes to Sydney Marlowe. Back in the hands of Robertson as she comes back across the top of the key. As Cassie Pugmire was standing there waiting, now she'll drop down and take position near the right block as Robertson goes to Meek right in front of the Eagle bench. In the corner to Robertson, back to Marlowe. Bounce pass is intercepted, taken away again by Vorwaller. Up into the front court in a hurry. Looks for somebody to give it to, fumbled it, so she had to go back and get it. Gives it to Lunt in the corner. She drives, nope, but she travels before she gets the shot away. Ball comes back over to the Indians. Tonight's game brought to you by Franklin County Medical Center, with the finest care that you'll find anywhere in the Cache Valley. Preston down 3, 11-8. 5:05 to play here in the second quarter. Up into the front court it comes to Pugmire. Pugmire gives it off to Robertson, comes back to Pugmire. A three from the right side, needs a bounce, won't get it. Good position inside by Vorwaller to take down the rebound. Quickly ahead, it comes to Armstrong. She goes up, but she's fouled, and she'll shoot a couple of free throws. The foul going to go against Pugmire. That's her second. And 4 on the team now against the Indians. As Sage Meek will be back in here, as Zoe Armstrong will go to the free throw line to shoot her couple of free throws, and the first one is good. Sage Meek back into the game as she will replace Brexley Ware. Also, Marcy Lunt goes back to the bench here for the Eagles. And the second free throw coming up here is up and in as Armstrong makes them both. She has 3 points in the game and a 5-point lead. 13-8 favor of the Eagles here as we approach the midway point of the second quarter. Pushing foul is against Taylor Argyle. That'll be her first. And 5 now on the Eagles as a team. So out of bounds on the side for the Indians is Haley Meek gives it into Sage. Sage gives it off to Robertson at the free throw line. It's a jumper there by Larson. That's no good. Taken away again by Marsh Valley. A one-shot trip again for the Indians. As stumbling underneath is Zoe Armstrong. She fell out of bounds with the basketball, so that'll turn the ball back over again to the Indians once again. Alexis Harris back into the game here for Preston. As Michaela Robertson will go back to the bench. Full court pressure again here from Marsh Valley. Indians able to break it as they get it to Larson at the midcourt stripe. Back to Harris. Now back to Haley Meek, who travels. She again moved both feet before she put the ball on the floor. 13-8. Preston is yet to score. We're almost 4 minutes into quarter number 2. Yet to score in the quarter, I should say, as Smedley goes over Pugmire for the basket. Smedley has 6, and it's a 7-point lead at 15-8. Up in the front court, it comes to Meek as Sage gets it ahead to Larson. That's going to be tied up, and the ball's going to go back over to the Marsh Valley Eagles on the alternating possession rule. So 15-8. Marsh Valley leads as they get the ball back up in the front court. Comes to Vorwaller, back out top. It comes to Argyle. She wants to drive, can't get the shot, gives it back to Vorwaller. Vorwaller comes back across the top of the key once again. Dunn has it, free throw line extended left. Back out top as popping out to get it is Natalie Smedley. Back out top to Vorwaller, now back to Dunn again as she brings it back over in front of the Preston bench just to Armstrong. Back out top to Argyle. Get it back to Dunn over on the right side. Bounce pass inside is behind Smedley and bad. Taken away again by the Indians. Kylie Larson back up into the front court. Nice little move to get across the timeline. She'll give it back now to Cassie Pugmire, top of the key. Pugmire gives it back to Harris. Harris, crossover dribble a couple of times on Vorwaller. Takes her right along the right sideline. Now down into the right corner. Back to Pugmire. Cassie looks at a 3. Good. Cassie Pugmire hits her first 3 points of the game. That cuts the lead down to 4, 15-11 with 2:40 to play here in the half. Vorwaller in the paint. Lays it off there. She lays it off to Argyle. Tried to get it across to Smedley. Has knocked out of bounds. Pugmire able to get a hand on it and knock it off the ankle of Smedley and then off of her and out of bounds. So Preston will keep the ball. As whistles and Myra Smedley comes back into the game, as it will be Marcia Dunn to go back to the bench. Finally ready to play, and the Indians get it in. Full court pressure here by the Eagles. Haley Meek up into the front court, gives it to Sage. Pugmire's got another 3, good again. Back-to-back threes for Cassie Pugmire, and for the Indians, it's 15-14, still a favor of the Eagles, but the Indians get back to within a point with 2:08 to play in the quarter. Smedley hands it off to Armstrong. Her jumper from the left elbow is no good. Larson has the rebound. Ahead to Haley Meek up into the front court. Crossover dribble, leaves it for Sage Meek. Tries a 3 of her own. Needs a bounce, won't get it. Smedley has the rebound for the Eagles. Stripped away by Haley Meek, but it's going to stay with the Eagles off of Haley and out of bounds. Maddie Hadley comes back in here for the Eagles. Good work by the Preston Indians to battle back from that 7-point deficit to get back to within one now with 1:45 to play in the half as Sage runs into Hadley and will draw a foul. Sage Meek draws the foul. That's her second. 5 team fouls against both sides. And again, with 1:45 to play, the Eagles have the ball out of bounds underneath their own basket. As it comes in, whip it back outside. It's Myris Medley's jumper. That's no good. Tapped out. However, it's controlled by Armstrong for the Eagles. Goes back to Hadley. Hadley goes back in the corner, back to Armstrong. Three-pointer. Bounces around a couple of times, stays out. Kylie Larson has the rebound for Preston. She come up the floor, heads up, looking for somebody to give it to. She finally passes it to Haley Meek. Haley pauses for a moment. Now wants to direct traffic a little bit. Harris, left side. She'll pop a three from there. As it'll be a 2. They'll call it a 2. It went out off the glass and then back in. So nice, good shot there. Shooter's roll for Lexi Harris to get her first 2 points of the game. And for Preston, they're back in the lead again at 16-15. Hadley out top, gives it to Vorwaller. Crossover dribble, has it knocked away, taken away by Harris. Here comes Lexi again against Vorwaller, put it up no good. But there's Sage Meek for the rebound and the putback basket. Sage has her first 2 points, and inside a minute now the Preston Indians lead by 3. 39 seconds to play here in the first half. Back out top, it comes to Hadley. Back to Vorwaller, down low to Argyle. Inside in the paint, they'll get it back out top to Vorwaller again. She'll pop it inside to Maddie Hadley at the left elbow. Comes across the lane, leaves it there for Argyle. Her shot's no good as Larson out-hustles Hadley to the basketball and gets the ball back up in the front court. 12 seconds to play in the quarter. They'll hold for the last shot. 8 seconds, 7, 6 to try to get it to Sage. Bad pass goes out of bounds. That's going to go back to the Eagles with 4.8 left in the quarter. Remind you to stay tuned for the Ralph's Construction halftime report. That's coming up as soon as the first half is over here in 4.8 seconds on the clock. And Preston leading 18-15. As it comes in, controlled there by Hadley, intercepted by Larson. Get it back to Lexi Harris, and her three-pointer goes off the basket and no good. But as for trailing by as many as 7 at one point of the quarter, the Indians able to battle back and will take a 3-point lead to the locker room after the first half here tonight. Stay tuned for the Ralph's Construction halftime report with the Indians on top, 18-15. We're back right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Are you looking for a different kind of spot for lunch, dinner, or to do catering for your next event? Then try the Island Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins right here in Preston. At Island Bowl Grill, they have the best Hawaiian fare in the area. The combination of teriyaki and Korean influences can only be described in one way: mouth-watering. Offering 3 different catering options, Island Bowl Grill can host your next party in-house at Poppin' Pins Bowling Center. You can pick up for takeout, or they can come right to your house and prepare the food on site for your next party. What could be easier? Go to poppinpins.com for more information on Island Bowl Grill, or call 208-425-6128. Poppin' Pins Bowling Center, 411 South US Highway 91 in Preston.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need, quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
The halftime report is brought to you by Ralph's Construction. More and more people are moving to the Preston area to live and retire. Since 1978, Ralph Construction's been building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community, the only 55-year-old plus community in the city of Preston. Come see the downsized, no-hassle lifestyle that Blue Sage Park offers. Ralph Construction will build to your custom specifications, or you can choose one of their existing floor plans. They're just starting phase 2, so there's plenty of great lots still available. Ralph Construction. Call for more information. 435-232-1837. Lawn care and snow removal included. Blue Sage Park by Ralph Construction. 435-232-1837.
KACH.
Welcome back. We're at halftime. This is the Ralph Construction halftime reports. As for the Lady Indians, who came into the game with 11-2 mark, fell behind by as many as 7 points in the second quarter, battled back before the quarter was over, and ends up outscoring Marsh Valley in the quarter 10-8, and takes a 3-point lead into the locker room for halftime as they lead 18-15 in what has been a very low-scoring first half here in the game. But the ability for the Indians to come back and make it a close game, and in fact take the lead again, as shows a little mettle on their part as they get ready to play what will be the most difficult stretch of games coming up after this game is over. The next 3 games coming up for the Indians, 2 of the 3 games will be against teams with winning record, as the next 3 games are all on the road. They'll play in Jerome next Friday night, and then at Wood River on Saturday afternoon. We'll have both those games for you here on mylocalradio.com and on KACH radio. Then they'll come home for a couple of days and they'll hit the road again. They'll go back to Century for 1 game. That's coming up on Tuesday, January the 14th, the first of 2 meetings against their rival, as I'll be very interesting games. The 2 best teams in the conference meeting head-to-head still twice before the end of the regular season. 18-15, Indians have the lead. We'll come back and check the stats right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Having your prescriptions refilled has never been easier. You can refill 24/7, set reminders, save medications, and access your account from the new My Community Pharmacy mobile app offered by Preston Drug. It's simple to use and simple to get. Log on to PrestonDrug.com and enter your mobile number. We'll send you the app. It's as simple as that. There are some things in life that have been made easier through technology. This is one of them. The app offered by Preston Drug is a quick and easy way to refill medications and promote a healthy lifestyle. Visit PrestonDrug.com.
We're not your ordinary grocery store at Stokes Market and True Value in Preston. We see every customer as a friend and a neighbor. Stokes Market and True Value offers a clean, bright, and modern store with the freshest meats, produce, and bakery. In many ways, we're still old-fashioned. We still bake from scratch, and our bakery items are made in store. You'll never see meat with an ingredient list because our meats are all natural and cut in store. Stop in today. Stokes Market and True Value, 217 South State Street, Preston.
In Franklin County, they know it's what's on the inside that really matters. That's why they offer advanced radiology and imaging using the latest in technology, performing x-rays, CAT scans, MRIs, nuclear testing, ultrasounds, mammography, and much more, right in Preston, Idaho. With short wait times and a highly skilled staff available around the clock, they'll help you reach a diagnosis quicker. Make sure your doctor knows you want to save time and money, closer to home. Let them be the next to take your picture. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence meet.
KACH.
Welcome back here to the Ralph Construction halftime report. Ralph Construction, they're building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community here in Preston, and you can find out more information by calling 435-232-1837. That's 435-232-1837 for Ralph Construction and their custom homes in Blue Sage Park. Stat sheet from the first half. First for the Marsh Valley Eagles. Valerie Vorwaller finished the first half with 4. It was Zoe Armstrong who had 2 in the first half. And then go down all the way down to the bottom. Natalie Smedley finished the first half with 6. That's it. Only 3 players scored in the first half for the Eagles. They finished from the free throw line in the first half, having made 5 out of 6. For the Preston Indians, Haley Meek with 3. Sage Marlowe, in her return to the team after missing the last 3 games, had 2 points in the first half. 2 points for Sage Meek as well. Lexi Harris had 2. Cassie Pugmire finished with a total of 6, and Kylie Larson had 3. Free throw shooting in the first half for the Preston Indians. They went 1 for 3 overall in the first half from the free throw line. 18-15, the halftime score. This has been the Ralph Construction Halftime Report. We invite you to stay tuned. The second half of tonight's game is coming up right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
More and more people are moving to the Preston area to live and retire. Since 1978, Ralph Construction's been building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community, the only 55-year-old plus community in the city of Preston. Come see the downsized, no-hassle lifestyle that Blue Sage Park offers. Ralph Construction will build to your custom specifications, or you can choose one of their existing floor plans. They're just starting phase 2, so there's plenty of great lots still available. Ralph Construction. Call for more information. 435-232-1837. Lawn care and snow removal included. Blue Sage Park by Ralph Construction. 435-232-1837.
The Limbic Arc may help you or someone you know be more calm. It's simple to use. Find out more by logging on to mylocalradio.com and clicking on the Limbic Arc logo. Check it out now. Visit mylocalradio.com and click on any Limbic Arc logo.
Advertise your open positions on the radio. You'll be amazed how quickly you see a response. You'll reach more people for less. The Job Stop includes radio and internet advertising. Call us for more info. We're a local company with a toll-free number, 833-856-9625. That's 833-856-9625.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
Across the FM airwaves, we're heard at 105.5. On the far-reaching AM dial, we're at 1340. And on the internet at mylocalradio.com. Wherever you find us, we are KACH, Preston, Smithfield, Logan.
Quick check of the scoreboard before the second half gets going. NFL playoffs getting started tonight. They're in the third quarter. Tennessee leads New England 14-13. A final from earlier today in overtime. Houston got a field goal in overtime and picks up a three-point win tonight over the Tennessee Titans in that game. As we'll check some more scores coming up as we begin the second half. Preston has the ball to start the second half. As it comes back out, Marlowe has it. Out in the three-point range, looks inside, instead she'll come across to Pugmire. In the corner it goes to Sage Meek, back to Pugmire. She had a pair of threes in the first half, and this one's just a little bit short. Rebound is off as it goes to Smedley. Up into the front court again, here comes Armstrong. Full run, slips and falls, able to keep the dribble though, that was pretty handy. As the backdoor pass comes back to Vorwaller, lost it, and it's going to stay with the Eagles, out of bounds off of Preston. Inside, the shot there put up by Argyle, no good. Again, the Eagles get the rebound. Goes back over to Dunn on the left side. Cross-court pass comes back to Vorwaller. She doesn't want to shoot. She'll give it back out top to Armstrong. Armstrong has 10 games in a row, or 10 games this year as she's reached double figures. In fact, the last 6 in a row. She was held to just 3 points in the first half. Armstrong back out top. We'll give it over on the left side to Dunn. Down in the left corner there. Now Argyle holds it high above her head as here comes Armstrong down the middle off the glass and in. Armstrong's got 5 now in the game as she picks up the point. And it gets the first points of the second half as the Eagles now back to within a point. Quickly comes back up to Pugmire. She won't have thought about the shot, didn't take it. As Harris, cross-court pass comes to Meek. Haley Meek's little off-balance jumper is no good. Tap back out by Larson. Inside pass from Meek to Larson for the layup is in. That's 5 points in the game for Kylie. As again, the Indians open the lead back up to 3 points again. Up in the front court, it comes to Argyle. Little 10-foot jumper off the rim a couple of times, no good. As the rebound comes off to Haley Meek. Defenders are back, so she'll slow the ball down. And now she just drops it down again and takes it to the hole, missed the layup. Rebound is off to Argyle. Quickly back up in the front court again. Here comes the Eagles. The Eagles three-pointer is up and in by Armstrong. Armstrong now has 8, quickly 5 quick points in the half, and we're tied again at 20. Harris in the front court for the Indians. Goes to Pugmire in the left corner. She drives driving baseline. Gives it off to Haley Meek in the right corner. She puts it up, and that's no good. So Haley is going to go to the free throw line as the foul will be on Marcy Dunn. That's her first foul of the second half against either team. And now here's Haley Meek, a 71% free throw shooter on the year, to shoot a couple as the first one is up and in. She's made 2 out of 3 so far tonight. So Houston beat Buffalo 22-19. Tennessee leads New England in the NBA playoffs. The Utah Jazz were a winner tonight, as after the free throw, both made by Haley Meek. Preston wants a timeout. 5:37 to play here in quarter number 3. We'll be right back.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Welcome to West Motor Ford. We love happy customers. With multiple financing options, it's easy to drive your new vehicle home. We offer a full line of new Fords and a constantly changing pre-owned vehicle inventory. Our service department is top-notch with technicians trained for everything from routine maintenance to major repairs. With a large selection of parts and accessories, including tires, we've got you covered. So come in and let us turn up your happy meter. Visit West Motor Ford in Preston today.
KACH, mylocalradio.com. KACH. 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 MyLocalRadio.com.
When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric. It's what we do.
KACH.
Ball belongs to the Eagles as they come back from the timeout. Down low to Smedley. She missed the layup. Larson has the rebound. Gets it up to Harris. Back up into the front court. Preston leads by a point, 24-23. 3:15 to play here in the third quarter. Robertson back into the game here for Indians. Gets it down low in the corner. It goes to Pugmire. Down to Larson on the right block. Nice underneath move. Put it up and in and gets the foul. She'll score the basket, and she'll get the one shot to try to complete the three-point play, as Larson, who has 7 now in the game, will shoot her second free throw of the game. She missed her only other attempt, as the foul goes on Natalie Smedley, her second. So here's Kylie Larson to shoot one, try to complete the three-point play. Free throw is up and good. So Larson makes that one, gives her a total of 8 in the game, and Preston's lead is out to 4, 27-23. Comes to Vorwaller for the Eagles. She'll whip it back across to Zoe Armstrong. Armstrong whips that inside. Pass was tipped, but it got to its intended target anyway. Lexa Christensen shoots for 3. That's no good, as Harris has the rebound for the Indians. Back up into the front court quickly. Comes to Pugmire. She lays it off as it goes again to Larson. Nice pass, nice shot. Kylie's got 10, and the lead's back out to 29-23. Pass is taken away by Pugmire in the front court, and Cassie double dribbles. She tried to put the ball on the floor to get away from a defender, then stopped and put the ball on the floor again. That's a double dribble. Preston leading by 6, 2:27 to play here in the third. Armstrong back up into the front court. And the head coach of the Marsh Valley Eagles wants a timeout. Didn't like what he necessarily saw. So he calls the team over to the bench for 30 seconds and they'll chat. At the Spectrum tonight, Utah State playing host to San Diego State. That's in the first half, and the Aztecs lead the Aggies 14-11 early on. BYU is at home halfway through the second half. They lead LMU 44-29. And the Utah Jazz were a winner tonight on the road down in Orlando. They beat the Magic 109-96. That gets you caught up with what's happening as far as the scoreboard is concerned. Tennessee still holding a 1-point lead over New England as well, 14-13. With 5:31 to play in the third. Tonight's game brought to you in part by West Motors with Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks. They're all available right here in the city of Preston. So 29-23. Indians on top. What has been a tough, sometimes sloppy, hard-played game so far here. Almost through 3 quarters with Preston leading. Eagles will bring it in as they get it in to Christensen. Back out top, it comes to Vorwaller. She'll give it over to Armstrong, top of the key. Left side, that goes over to Maya Smedley. She drives down the middle, and a foul on the pass. As foul's going to go on Cassie Pugmire. That'll be her third. And first team foul for the Indians, as Cassie, with her 3 fouls, has to come to the bench as they get Sydney Marlowe back in for her. As the Eagles work it all the way around from the left corner, 3-pointer goes off the top of the board, no good. Maya Smedley fights for it. That'll be a held ball underneath, but that one's going to belong to the Indians. So Preston gets the ball underneath their own basket. Full court pressure put on by Marsh Valley as Haley Meek
Tries to break it. She gives it back to Lexi Harrison, and she will get it across the timeline. As Harris, crossover dribble, comes down the middle, lay it off in the corner. Now along the baseline, it's Larson, drives the baseline, goes up and in. Kylie Larson's got 12. That's a new season high for her. And the Eagles turn the ball over in the backcourt under full court pressure. Indian lead is 8, 31-23. They get the ball back underneath their own basket as Larson will bring it in from underneath the hoop. Gets it in to Robertson, back down on the block. It comes to Larson again. Back outside to Haley Meek. Nice move to split a couple of defenders. The layup won't go. Larson with the rebound, able to put it back up and in. Larson's got 14 as she adds to that new season high. Here comes Smedley. Over on the Hadley has it along the left baseline. That's no good. And the rebound is off to Robertson for the Indians. Weaves her way through traffic. Gets across the center court stripe. Now all the way. Kicks it off as that's going to be a three-pointer from the corner. No basket. Foul before the shot. This is going to be an offensive foul, a charging foul against Michaela Robertson, her first, team's second of the half. So it stays a 10-point lead with 1:06 to play here in quarter number 3 as the Indians are on top looking for their 12th win of the year. Vorwaller up into the front court, goes to Smedley. In the corner, Hadley doesn't take the shot. They whip it all the way back around, back out top as it comes to Zoe Armstrong again. Back to Vorwaller, free throw line extended left. Maya Smedley takes a three from the corner and makes that. Nope, call it a 2. As the official over on the far side said that was a 2-point shot, so Smedley has 4 in the game. Another great pass down low to Larson, and another layup for Kylie. Gives her a total of 16 in the game. Under 30 seconds to play now in the first half. Shot there by Maya is no good. Maya Smedley, and a traveling violation here against Haley Meek. That'll give the ball back to the Eagles with 23 seconds to play in quarter number 3. Alexis Armstrong brings it in from underneath her own basket. Gets it in deep to Armstrong. Armstrong backs up as Robertson follows her. She'll give it back to Vorwaller. 15 seconds to play in the quarter. In the corner it goes to Hadley. She brings it back out, gives it to Christensen. Now gives it back to Vorwaller. That's going to be an over and back violation. As the ball went into the back court, not touched by the Indians. So now they get 7 seconds to try to get something done offensively here before the quarter ends. Taylor Argyle back in here for the Eagles. 35-25. Preston on top with 7 seconds left. They get it into to Haley Meek. In the corner it goes to Larson. Down low, Robertson. Turnaround jumper, no good. As the rebound is off, as Preston will have to settle for a 10-point lead as we go to quarter number 4 here tonight. The fourth quarter is brought to you by Webb Funeral Home. We'll go there with Preston leading by 10 when we come back.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
When you see that big green dinosaur, whether at your favorite gas station or convenience store on the side of a delivery truck, you know quality Sinclair products are available there from Hall Oil Company. Hall Oil is a family-owned and operated business that's been serving folks in Cache Valley since 1947. They're your local fuel and oil broker with a low-price guarantee. Another guarantee that's been really important this winter is that when you fill your fuel tanks with premium winter diesel fuel from Hall Oil, it's guaranteed not to gel, even when the temperature drops below 0. It's the no-gel guarantee from Hall Oil Company.
The fourth quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Webb Funeral Home.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
KACH. KACH.
Right off the inbounds pass here to start quarter number 4, brought to you by Webb Funeral Home. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Eagles underneath their own basket. Just 12 seconds in to quarter number 4. As Vorwaller will bring it in from underneath her own basket, brings it in deep to Zoe Armstrong. Armstrong puts the ball to the dribble up near the top of the key. Now gives it back to Vorwaller on the angle right. Trying to get away from Robertson. Now she does. Able to go down the middle. Splits it up around Brexley Ware just back into the game. No good. Robertson has the rebound for the Indians. Crossover dribble. Try a couple of times. Trying to get away from Maya Smedley. Gets the ball up into the front court. Robertson still holds the ball. Gives it back to Ware. Ware dropped it and ended up losing it as it goes to Smedley up into the front court. Here comes Maya down the middle. Puts it up and she's fouled hard by, I think it'd be against Sydney Marlowe. And it is. That'll be for the first tonight for Sid. Third team foul against the Indians here in the second half, and free throws here for Maya Smedley. Smedley's first is up and in. She's 3 for 3 from the line tonight. Gives her a total of 5 points in the game, as she'll now try the second. That one rattles around and stays out this time, as Sydney Marlowe had the rebound. As Cassie Pugmire's pass is deflected, finds a way to it's a white jerseyed Indian anyway, as they bounce it down low, trying to get it to Pugmire. That's going to be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Eagles. Tonight's game brought to you by Stokes Market True Value, the big city market with small town friendliness. Stokes Market True Value on State Street right here in Preston. Pugmire to bring it in. Sage Meek in the corner. Tried to again drop it down to Pugmire on the right block, but it was kicked by Zoe Armstrong. That again will stay with the Indians. Riley Ward back into the game for the first time tonight here for the Indians, as Michaela Robertson will come out. Also, Natalie Smedley back into the game for the Eagles as well, as Ware gets it down low. Marlowe goes off the glass. No, Pugmire has the rebound. Put that back up and in. Cassie Pugmire has reached double figures tonight as she has 10. And it's an 11-point lead now for the Indians at 37-26. Vorwaller, crossover step, goes up in over Cassie Pugmire. Vorwaller has 6, and here's the press again put on by the Eagles. Pugmire gets it back up into the front court for Preston. Goes to Ware, behind her a little bit. She's able to get a hand on it, couldn't control it, but then a bailout for the Indians as Myra Smedley got a hand on it and knocked it out of bounds. So it stays with Preston underneath their own basket. 6:25 to play here in regulation. Riley Ward brings it in. Ward holds it up high over her head as it comes to Sydney Marlowe in the left corner. Marlowe wants to drive the ball out of the corner. Back out top as he gets it to Sage Meek. Meek holds it out there. She works against Armstrong. Comes left, gives it back to Marlowe. Sid fakes inside a couple of times. Now one bounce dribble, gets it back to Ware in the corner. Back out top to Pugmire again. Cassie working against Smedley. Leaves it there for Riley Ward, who wanted to go to the basket, ended up losing the ball off her knee and out of bounds. 6:02 to play here in the fourth, brought to you by Webb Funeral Home. Dan Hubbard with you, John Beverly back in studio. As we got whistles after the inbound pass. Hold on a minute. We have a little girl who's made her way out onto the floor. Referee walks the little girl back over to mom. And if you got to have a timeout, it might as well be for a kid, right? So the the Eagles will bring it in from in front of the Indian bench here with 6 minutes exactly to go in regulation. As here comes Armstrong. That's going to be a blocking foul inside. And they're going to call that on the shot, so Armstrong is going to go back to the free throw line for a couple of more free throw attempts. Foul is on Sydney Marlowe. That's her second, team's fourth. Yeah, now they changed their mind and called it a foul on the drive, so it's out of bounds underneath their own basket for the Eagles. The lob pass gets it into Smedley, gives it off to Maya Smedley. Now back out top again. It comes to Armstrong. Back to Smedley. Three-pointer good. Maya Smedley hits her first 3 of the game. She has 8 in the contest. And all of a sudden the lead down to 6 again, 37-31. Sage Meek has it on the angle here for the Indians. Holds it up, tries to get it to Riley Ward. It's off her hands, taken away again as Argyle had it. Gets it to Smedley, back up into the front court for Marsh Valley. Back over on the far side, it comes back to Armstrong. She holds it up. Now she'll give it back to Vorwaller. Vorwaller wants to drive, kicking off in the corner. Three-pointer for Argyle's. An air ball taken there by Cassie Pugmire. Pugmire delays in the back court a moment. Now she gets it back up over the timeline. She'll give it to Sydney Marlowe on the right side. Back out top to Riley Ward. Back to Marlowe on the angle right. Wants to drive. She does drive. Goes up against Argyle. She gets cut off, so she brings it back outside to Sage Meek. The pass inside, intercepted again by the Eagles as they try to get it down low to Haley Meek. As here's Vorwaller on the drive, and that'll be a foul on the drive once again, as that'll go against Brexley Ware, and that'll be her first. And quickly now 4 fouls on the Indians here in the second half with 4:46 to play in regulation. Haley Meek back into the game, as is Sage, not Sage, but I should say Lexi Harris back in as well for Preston. As it comes to Armstrong, she draws that double team again to get it to Vorwaller. The free throw line 15-foot jumper is good. Vorwaller's got 8. Look out, the lead down to 4 again. Lead to the head of the pack. It goes to Larson. Nice pass for the layup, and Larson's got 18. Quickly up into the front court. Macy Lust just back into the game. She hurt, but a three-point jumper is no good. The rebound is taken there by Maya Smedley, and a whistle. They're going to call this a held ball, and it's going to go back over to the Indians. So Preston able to control it on the held ball. Haley Meek runs the ball with a defender on her hip all the way back up into the front court. Comes to Sage. Now Lexi Harris will hold it top of the key. Looks right. That's where Larson comes out. Then goes around the screen by Larson. Harris wildly off the glass. That's no good. Vorwaller has the rebound. Under 4 minutes to play in regulation. It goes in the corner to Armstrong. Three-pointer from there is good. She's got 14 now in the game, and it's a three-point game, 39-36. Here comes Haley Meek for the Indians. We'll kick it back to Harris. Lexi has to go back and get it. 3.5 to play here in regulation. Hold on, and we get a timeout called here by the Indians. Preston will take the timeout. It'll be a full timeout. We'll sneak it in here as well. We'll be right back.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
KACH.
Our next broadcast comes up next Tuesday night, as the boys, the Indians, will be on the road at Canyon Springs against the Riverhawks, at Canyon Ridge, I should say, against the Riverhawks. We'll have that for you, starting with the pregame show at 7:15 on Tuesday night. They'll tip the game off at 7:30. Preston, a big winner earlier today, as they improved their record today as well to 10-1 on the year. Indians ball out of bounds. They get it into Lexi Harris. Lexi dribbling against Mila Smedley. Goes back to Haley Meek. Bad pass as Armstrong got a hand on it and knocked it out of bounds. So again, Harris will bring it in over on the far side. Looking. Someone's got to come to the ball in a hurry. They finally get it into Kylie Larson. Larson, let's say about an 8-foot jumper is good. Larson's got 20 in the game, and the lead back out to 5 again. 41-36 for Preston. Is saved on the floor. It comes back out to Armstrong. Armstrong dribbles against Harris. Harris taps it away. Armstrong's got to go chase it back in the backcourt with 3 minutes to play. Back up into the front court. Crosses over on Harris as now Armstrong will back it back out again. Preston lead is 5. Smedley holds it up. Pugmire tried to challenge for the ball, didn't get it. Armstrong kicks it off as it ends up in the hands of Maya Smedley. Smedley comes across the top of the key, directing traffic as she goes, gives it off to Macy Lint. The sophomore thought about going down to the corner. Instead, she pulls it back out. Almost traveled with it. Now we'll get it back out again. It comes back in the hands of the junior, Zoe Armstrong. As Armstrong all the way to the basket, scoop shot is in. She now has 16 in the game and cuts the lead down to 3 again. Back out top, it comes back for the Indians, back to Haley Meek. Haley drives, gives it to Sage as she holds it in three-point land. Down along the sideline, it comes to Larson, holds the ball up over her head. But again, boy, that skip pass is dangerous. And luckily for the Indians, it ends up off of the Eagles and out of bounds. As timeout again taken here by Marsh Valley with 1:55 to play in what is a three-point game. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Webb Funeral Home here in Preston. The fourth quarter is also brought to you by Webb Funeral Home. You know, in your time of need, you need professionals who knows how to show true compassion. That's exactly what you'll find at Webb Funeral Home. Webb Funeral Home is just off Highway 91 at the south end of the city of Preston. Let's reset everything for you here. It was 1:55 to play. Preston leads by 3, 41-38. Team fouls, 5 on the Indians, only 2 on the Eagles so far here in the half. As far as people on the floor in foul trouble, your only real one in any kind of trouble is Cassie Pugmire. She has 3 in the game so far here tonight. So Preston fell behind early, able to fight back, get a lead, and now trying to hang on to it as they've seen their lead, which is at sometimes out as many as 11. It's been trimmed back down again, all the way back down to 3, 41-38. Ball belongs to the Indians out of bounds. Waiting for the Eagles. Here they come off their bench, back out onto the floor now as well. 1:55 to play. As Preston kind of lines up in a picket line right in front of Lexi Harris, who brings the ball in over on the far side as the bounce pass comes to Sage. As Meek shot no good. Rebound to Larson. She goes up and she's fouled. So Kylie Larson with 20 already in the game is going to go shoot a couple of free throws here. As the foul is going to go on Macy Lint. That'll be her second. And Kylie Larson, who's only shot 2 free throws in the game so far here tonight. She's 1 out of 2. First one is good. That's as Kylie has lapped her season high, which was 10. She makes these 2 free throws. Now she has 22 on the game here tonight. So 22 for Larson, and the lead back out to 5 points again for the Indians. And a holding foul. If that's on Pugmire, who was right there, if it's on Cassie, it's going to be 4. Nope. The foul actually is going to go against Kylie Larson. That's just her first. Bit of a break there as the inbounds pass almost taken away. Waller gets it off. Armstrong, a long 3. That's no good, off the glass. Lunt has it, comes through the key, back out top, back to Vorwaller. She wants to drive, left-handed. That shot no good. Pugmire with good position inside on Smedley has the rebound. Cassie now wants to dribble it hard up along the far sideline, gets it across the timeline, back up into the front court. 1:17 to play in the game as they double team Pugmire. She gets it out of there, and they'll hold on as Ryan Harris called a timeout before the pass by Pugmire, as they had her trapped over there along the far sideline. So the timeout comes with 1:14 to play. And the lead back out to 5 again for Preston at 43-38. Let's see what else is happening here. Update the scoreboard here as we can. Get the latest refresh here for you. 2 minutes to play at the Spectrum in the first half. San Diego State leads Utah State by 9, 34-25.
BYU leads big over LMU at the Marriott Center with 2 minutes to play in that game, 61-36. And the finals from earlier, Utah was a winner over Orlando in the NBA, 109-95. Houston beat Buffalo in the NFL playoffs in overtime, 22-19. They've gone to the fourth quarter now in New England. Tennessee clinging to that 1-point lead, 14-13. Michaela Robertson back into the game for the Indians. She'll trigger the ball inbounds. Looking, bounce pass comes to Haley Meek. Haley drives the baseline, reverse layup is no good. Larson has the rebound, puts it back, and it won't go, but she's fouled. Foul's going to be on Natalie Smedley. That'll be her third. Fourth on the team. And now Kylie Larson, yes, is going to get a couple of more free throw attempts. First one needs a roll, will not go. She's made 3 out of 5 tonight as part of her 22-point night. And she has one more. That's no good again. She missed them both. Rebound is off to the Eagles, quickly up into the front court. Here comes Zoe Armstrong. She'll lay it off there for Lunt. And she lost the ball, taken away by Haley Meek. Meek holds on to it in the backcourt. Under a minute to play now. 53 and the clock runs. Haley all the way, lays it off in the corner to Sage. Back out top to Robertson. Robertson will swing that back around as it comes back to Harris. Lexi drives down into the paint, lays it off for Robertson, back outside. As Larson holds it straight away, up over her head. Still not taking a shot with that 5-point lead. 30 seconds now to go here in regulation. Robertson bounces it down low to Larson, and she traveled. So a turnover inside. Traveling violation against the Indians, and a timeout now called by Marsh Valley. Marsh Valley will take the 30-second timeout with 26 seconds to play. Here's the problem, however, for Marsh Valley. They only have 4 team fouls. So even if they do score a basket and they foul Preston, it's just going to be the ball out of bounds. They're not going to send Preston to the free throw line. This is where clock management and foul management comes into big play here, as they have 2 fouls to give before they can even try to get the ball back by sending the Indians to the free throw line. And with 26 seconds left in the quarter, that's going to burn up a lot of clock. So waiting for the Eagles to break their huddle after the 30-second timeout. Now here they come, as the ball belongs to Marsh Valley in the backcourt. And you know Preston is going to full court press here just to try to delay their getting the ball up into the front court. They get it in. They get it to Armstrong, who breaks the press very easily. She'll pull the ball back out. Not a lot of time to dribble around and try to look for an open man, as Vorwaller comes to meet the ball with 15 seconds to play and a foul away on the ball. That's going to be free throws here for the Eagles. The foul's going to be on Haley Meek. That's only her first and the 7th on the team, so 1-1 coming up here for Vorwaller. First free throw attempts of the night for Vorwaller, and she missed it. Robertson has the rebound in the backcourt with 10 seconds left. And as got a foul, a pushing foul called against Vorwaller. There's the first of those fouls they needed to give, but the time, the game clock is down to 8 seconds. That's still only 5. They still have 2 more to give before they can send Preston to the free throw line. Harris looks to get it into the backcourt, looking, and she can't find anybody to throw it to, so she throws it off the shin of Argyle and out of bounds. Half a second rolled off the clock, so there's 7.7 left now as they get it into Haley Meek, and Haley's fouled immediately by Vorwaller. That'll be her second. But again, it's still going to just be ball out of bounds here for the Indians, as 2 seconds ran off the clock. It's down to 5.7. And finally, the next time they foul, they can send Preston to the free throw line, as that's going to be off the hands of Dunn and out of bounds. Again, the ball will stay with Preston as we're now down to 4.4. Five-point lead for the Indians. As the clock definitely the enemy of the Eagles now at this point. As it comes to Meek, here she comes, head of the pack, but she's just going to slow the ball down and let the clock run out. And for the Preston Indians, they pick up a 43-38 win over Marsh Valley tonight and improve their record on the year to 12-2 and get ready for what will be a very arduous stretch of games to finish the season. All in conference and all very important. And those games start on Friday night as Preston will get it on the road for the next 3 games overall. So Preston wins it here tonight, 43-38. We invite you to stay tuned for the post-game show. It is coming up next.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by West Motors with Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks, all available right here in Preston. Franklin County Medical Center with the finest care you'll find in all of the Cache Valley. Stokes Market True Value, the big city market with small town friendliness. By Ralph's Construction, building custom homes in the Blue Sage Park community in Preston. By Webb Funeral Home, just off Highway 91 at the south end of Preston. By Hawaiian Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins Bowling Center. Come try the best Hawaiian food right here in Preston. By Naylor Insurance, for life, home, and auto insurance from Mutual of Enumclaw on State Street in Preston. By Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. By Idaho Salvage, where you can turn your scrap metals into cash. By Preston Auto Parts CarQuest on State Street in downtown Preston. By Valley Implement. By S&T Electric. And by MyLocalRadio.com. Now, stay tuned for the postgame show. Coming right up.
Imagine a world with no basketball.
Hey, do you want to marathon the Lifetime Network today?
Oh, yeah, there's a new show. It's called How to Dress Up Kitty.
Yeah, no thanks. Basketball lives here on the Aggie Sports Network.
This Saturday night, the Aggies return to the Spectrum floor as they host the San Diego State Aztecs. The pregame show is at 7:30. They'll tip off the game at 8.
Utah State basketball on KACH.
Are you looking for a different kind of spot for lunch, dinner, or to do catering for your next event? Then try the Island Bowl Grill inside Poppin' Pins right here in Preston. At Island Bowl Grill, they have the best Hawaiian fare in the area. The combination of teriyaki and Korean influences can only be described in one way: mouth-watering. Offering 3 different catering options, Island Bowl Grill can host your next party in-house at Poppin' Pins Bowling Center. You can pick up for takeout, or they can come right to your house and prepare the food on-site for your next party. What could be easier? Go to poppinpins.com for more information on Island Bowl Grill, or call 208-425-6128. Poppin' Pins Bowling Center, 411 South US Highway 91 in Preston.
When the time finally comes to deliver your new little one, the comforts of home are vital. Franklin County Medical Center understands, and that's why the new maternity suites are designed with a warm family atmosphere, spacious rooms complete with sleeping accommodations for your partner, and state-of-the-art birthing equipment. At Franklin County Medical Center, your new arrival will be welcomed into the world safely, and the expert staff will ensure you're relaxed and comfortable. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence meet.
Across the FM airwaves, we're heard at 105.5. On the far-reaching AM dial, we're at 1340. And on the internet at mylocalradio.com. Wherever you find us, we are KACH, Preston, Smithfield.
This is the Preston Indians postgame show. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's game, take a look at the final stats, and a look at other games from around the area on the Ron Keller Tires scoreboard.
Welcome back here to Preston Gym as the Indians pull out what was a hard-fought victory tonight against the Marsh Valley Eagles, winning by 5, 43-38. For Preston, who trailed at halftime, able to actually, I should take that back, they led at halftime by 3. extended the lead to 10 after 3 and end up winning it, even though they're outscored in the fourth quarter by 5 points overall. They win it by 5 here tonight to improve their record to 12-2 on the year and get ready now for what is an arduous stretch of games coming up, which gets underway next Friday night, as they'll play the next 3 games on the road, and they'll play their final 8 games overall on the year, all within the conference tonight. As on Friday night, they will be in Jerome to face the Tigers, and then they'll go to Wood River on Saturday afternoon. We'll have both of those games for you. Then after coming home for the weekend, they'll go back out on the road on the following Tuesday, as they'll have their first of 2 matchups against the Century Diamondbacks in Century. The first game will be. Of course, we'll have all those games for you coming up here on mylocalradio.com. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll look at the scores from the game tonight. We'll do all that as we continue right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Welcome to West Motor Ford. We love happy customers. With multiple financing options, it's easy to drive your new vehicle home. We offer a full line of new Fords and a constantly changing pre-owned vehicle inventory. Our service department is top-notch with technicians trained for everything from routine maintenance to major repairs. With a large selection of parts and accessories, including tires, we've got you covered. So come in and let us turn up your happy meter. Visit West Motor Ford in Preston today.
In addition to local information and the best live coverage of local sports, you can stream music 24/7 at mylocalradio.com. Log on and choose the music you like best. Classic or modern country, indie, adult contemporary, or classic rock, stream it live through your computer or cell phone. Listen to the music you want and don't miss the information you need. Like us on Facebook and visit mylocalradio.com today.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
Welcome back here to the postgame show. Let's look at the final numbers for the game here tonight. First for Marsh Valley, Valerie Volwall, who finished the game with 8 points. Lexi Christensen played but did not score. Maya Smedley had 8 in the game as well. Zoe Armstrong finished the game with 16. It's her 7th double-figure game in a row and 11th overall on the year. Macy Lunt did not score. Either did Maddie Hadley. Taylor Argyle also did not score, nor did Marcy Dunn. Find anybody else with points, you got to go all the way down to the big center, Natalie Smedley, who finished the game with 6. And for the Eagles, they finished the game 6 of 9 from the free throw line in the contest here tonight. For Preston, overall to win it, on their side of the score sheet, Haley Meek had 3. Sydney Marlowe had 2 in her first game back after coming back after missing the last 3 games with a bone bruise. Sage Meek finished the game with 2. Lexi Harris had 2. Cassie Pugmire had 10. And a new season high for Kylie Larson, as she finishes the game with a total of 22 on the night. And for Preston, they end up 6 of 10 from the free throw line in the contest. Preston wins at 43-38. We'll come back and wrap up the broadcast right after this.
KACH, mylocalradio.com.
The holidays are a special time, filled with delicious meals, savory meats, desserts, candies, and hot apple cider. The team at Stokes Market and True Value in Preston wish you and yours a delicious holiday season filled with happiness. Visit us today for all the ingredients for your special recipes. Shop the wide selection of holiday gifts for everyone on your list. Stokes Market and True Value, 217 South State Street, Preston. We thank you for your patronage.
This is Ron Smaley from Webb Funeral Home, thanking Preston Indian and Westside Pirate fans for your loyalty over the years. You have helped make Webb Funeral Home Franklin County's most trusted name in funeral services since 1925. Our staff is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide compassionate service in your time of need. We also offer a full range of services, including many funeral pre-planning options to meet everyone's budget, an excellent monument selection, and the best aftercare services available. Let us answer any questions you may have by calling 208-852-0533. Webb Funeral Home, since 1925. You know us, you trust us, we're here to stay.
In Franklin County, they know it's what's on the inside that really matters. That's why they offer advanced radiology and imaging using the latest in technology, performing x-rays, CAT scans, MRIs, nuclear testing, ultrasounds, mammography, and much more, right in Preston, Idaho. With short wait times and a highly skilled staff available around the clock, they'll help you reach a diagnosis quicker. Make sure your doctor knows you want to save time and money closer to home. Let them be the next to take your picture. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence meet.
KACH.
Well, welcome back here to the post-game show, and for the Preston Lady Indians, after a win here tonight, they dive right back into conference play for their next 3 games. They'll go on the road as it all starts next Friday night as the Lady Indians head out on the road for a 2-game road trip as they'll go to Jerome on Friday night, 7:30 tip-off for that game, and then Saturday afternoon at Wood River in a game that will start at 2. We'll have both of those games for you here on mylocalradio.com and on KACH Radio. Our next broadcast for the boys comes up on Tuesday from Canyon Springs. Pre-game show at 7:15, tip-off at 7:30. Join Ron Smaley and myself for the call of this Great Basin contest in what will be another very important game for the Indians as they really drive headfirst back into conference play as well after picking up a very important win for them tonight. They're at halftime at the Spectrum. San Diego State leads Utah State 34-27 as the game is now a final at BYU as the Cougars beat LMU tonight 63-38. And still in the NFL playoffs, Tennessee holding on to that 1-point lead over New England, 14-13. That'll wrap up tonight's broadcast. Our executive producer of Preston Broadcasting Sports is Val Cook. The studio coordinator has been John Beverly. I'm Dan Hubbard, reminding you of the final score as the Lady Indians win here tonight by the final of 43-38. Until next time, we wish you a very pleasant good night from here at Preston High School.
Thank you for listening to the Preston Indians postgame show. This broadcast has been a production of Preston Broadcasting, LLC, and was intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Use of any portion of this production, its accounts or descriptions, in whole or in part, may not be used or rebroadcast without the express written permission of Preston Broadcasting, LLC.